Football is officially not coming home, and I am loving it. Right, so we have just finished watching the 0-0 win for England against the United States of America. A really boring game and really awful game. There was no spark to it whatsoever. I sat there clutching onto the hopes that America would end up breaking the deadlock. Never happened. It was a waste of 90 minutes, in my opinion. But the big talking point that has come out is, how did Mason Mount play 90 minutes? We have that is the question. There have been answers given. You will hear the answers. But today, the whole thing is, why is Phil Foden not playing for England? Why did he only get about 15 minutes in the last game? I don't know, to be honest with you. I think he's the best player. But a man who can talk for England for himself on this is Luke. And Luke, brother, good to have you back. Take it away.
Good to be back. Well, the answer to Phil Foden not playing games for England or starting for England is that apparently, according to Gareth Southgate, he hasn't played midfield with City. Even though there have been games for City, if I remember saying this year, but he has played in midfield with City before in certain games. So, playing Rashford on the right, when meant to be a striker or left winger. Confusing that, isn't it? Honestly, the man's a hypocrite, but that's a completely different video. Forget about Gareth Southgate. But I'm just confused with why he persists with Mason Mount every game. The only reason he came off against Iran because it was 4-0 and the game was done. Well, you know what? I'll give Grealish and Foden a chance. And it's bizarre. Like, you watched, I thought Rashford as well was good in the last game anyway. But the fact that when they both came on, the quality immediately improved going forward. The entire team, like, even though we didn't score 2 more goals, it was a much better quality going forward. And I think it's bizarre that he keeps persisting with a player that doesn't do anything. He hasn't really got any qualities that make him stand out as a world-class potential player. Like when Grealish and Foden have so much more to their game and can actually make defenders sit back, and bring players over to help a player out, try and deal with them. It's just bizarre to me. Like, I understand that I'm not betting us to win the World Cup this year. I mean, much as I'd love us to, it's just, I don't think it's going to happen with Southgate in charge. But at least play your best players. Phil Foden has been the best league this season. He's been unbelievable for us this season. I wouldn't say, it depends obviously on your point of view on that, but I just feel what he offers to an England team is so much more than what Mason Mount could offer. And it also brings up another question as to why Gareth's only playing one City player so far. And we won the last 4 league titles in the last 5 seasons, and he's only playing one City player. I get Calvin and Carl have just come back from injuries, but Foden and Grealish aren't even starting games. Like, it's crazy to me. I just don't understand. And again, I could go on a long rant about this, but I just want to keep it sort of brief to what he needs to do going forward. I think for Wales, he has to play him every game from now on. If we get past Wales, if we get to the knockout stages, play Foden and Grealish every game from now on. Sterling and Mount can't do it. They haven't got the ability in them. Yeah, they might score the odd goal here and there, but they're just not good enough. They haven't got the qualities that Grealish and Foden have in terms of winning games for England. And I just don't think Southgate will ever learn that lesson until it's far too late. And we'll be sitting here. I know you'll be laughing when we do go out. Absolutely fair play. But as I say, me and Joe are both England supporters, quote unquote. We'll be sat there knowing exactly what went wrong, where it should have changed, and it's never going to change because Gareth Southgate will never learn. But Phil Foden should always be starting every game for England, and that's just a matter of fact.
I do actually agree with you. I watched it today, sat there thinking, even though having that Mount character in there, I shall call him, is kind of crazy because, I mean, it's kind of, I know he's a type of player, but Kane is dropping into the midfield more. He's basically playing as a holding midfielder for years. I thought he was just nowhere in the game. Here's actually a fun fact I saw on Twitter via Joe Head sent it to me. He says that I think it was Kane, Mount. There's a couple of, there are 4 players involved in it. They created the same amount combined as what Phil Foden created, and Phil Foden didn't even play. Foden is their best player. I've said it now for a good while. He is their best player. He's a generational talent, and if not taken properly, if not coached and trained properly on the international stage, could fall. We've seen it with hundreds of English players before come up. They're meant to be the next best thing since sliced bread. Boom, fall off completely. We've seen it with so many. Ravel Morrison comes to mind instantly. But they're just, I think it's very poor. I do agree with you. If you're looking at it from a standpoint, if you want England to win, you want Foden and Grealish. The more I see Sterling starting and Mount starting, and yeah, that's where they're the two kind of standouts. That's where I'm like, I'm happy enough with that. If I'm going up against England, that's who you want to play against at the minute. Sterling scored against Iran, good finish. Good, he done well to get into the position, but Jesus Christ, like he didn't get a sniff of it for the rest of it. England, it's looking really, really dire for them, to be honest. Like, you're letting this maniac Gareth Southgate take hold of a golden generation. You think of what the golden generation you've had in the past and who you've let them be coached by as well. I mean, again, Southgate comes to mind. You see, back in 2006 was Sven-Goran Eriksson had them as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
England are fumbling. England and Steve McLaren. That's what I was saying. Yeah, you're letting a lot of golden generations fumble, in my opinion, Luke.
Well, the thing is, Dara, for me, it's like this is probably our best generation we've had, like because they're all younger players. Like, remember when Gerrard, Lampard, and Beckham and all that, they were all roughly good towards their primes. Right now, these players we've got right now, probably like Harry Kane or maybe Sonny Maguire. Most of these players coming up are just getting into their best years. Like Foden's nowhere near his prime yet. Like it will be. Bellingham is 19. He wasn't great today, but even you know how good Jude Bellingham is. He's incredible talent. This team will be probably the team is going to be obviously become players who will retire later on. But this is probably going to be our team for the next 10 or decade. So it isn't like I'm losing hope for England at all. Like, I know we'll always have a good team of players coming through, but it's the fact that tournaments like this and the Euros will always be wasted because we have managers like Gareth Southgate who don't know what to do with these players. Like, I'm not asking for Pep Guardiola to magically come out of nowhere because after he leaves City at some point. I bet it's a manager who knows what he's doing with with attacking talent and at the back. Like, isn't it a genius to realise what's the best team for England? Like, you can see who the best players are. Like, I think even Maddison is better than Mason Mount. Maddison could offer way more. Obviously, for Leicester, he's a baller. Like, I think because something like Arsenal in the future, if something like that, we've got so many good players in this team, and players that should be in this team, like Mason Mount, like Raheem Sterling. They're just not the players that should be in there. And I don't care if people disagree with that or not. Like, on form, it should be the form players, not players based. Obviously, you want players who've been long-standing. If they're not good on current form, don't bring them. It's just pointless. It's just the same thing we've seen for years and years with Rooney being a squad for no reason. It's a constant narrative, a constant cycle of England every year with tournaments where it's like, oh, this player's in here. Honestly, I could go on forever about it, but it's never going to change while Gareth Southgate's here, that's for sure. Yeah,
I do agree with you. Long may it last as me. Look, you've made a lot of good points, man. I have to agree with you saying that, City have won 4 leagues in the last 5 years, and this core isn't being built around the City core. The English core is not being built around by Gareth Southgate. So I find that absolutely insane. But look, there's so many things that can end up happening in this World Cup. Bottom of this being football could come home. It's not. Like we've seen throughout this start in the group stage, it's been funky. It's been a really, really good, enjoyable group stage, in my opinion. Look, we'll wrap it up there. I think Luke said his piece. I'm just kind of sat here and enjoying it. We are currently sat on 4,408 subscribers. We are pushing, so you have about a month and a few days on top of that to hit the 5k goal. We are pushing it as hard as possible because we're in the end game now, folks. Yeah. I've said this now before. Actually, I don't think I've said this live or on a video. I will say it now. I will get a blue smoke bomb and fill up this room with smoke live on stream if and only if we hit that 5k goal before December 31st. But look, again, thanks very much for watching. Let us know what you'll do if you're Southgate. Let us know who's going to win the World Cup. It's not England. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Listen to your heart. Tell me who you want to be. We can always start to believe. Listen to your heart. Tell me that you